Test, 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 test. I think this shit is on. Welcome, folks. I know you've all been waiting for this moment. I know you've had your calendars marked. Well, not really, because I didn't really announce a date, but I know it's been a very anticipated day for all my 646 followers on the gram and my 1,500 over there on the TikTok. Today, the first episode, History and I Don't Know Sports. The podcast is dropping. Now, today we're just gonna go over a lot of things. I don't know exactly what we're gonna get into, just some stuff. Okay, we're in this makeshift setup. I guess I'm not really gonna have a set, as you know. Similar to my appearance, sometimes it is a mess. For some of you wondering, I am not a troll that lives under a bridge somewhere in northern Maine that just appears at lacrosse fields from here and there. Holy smokes, that light is bright in the back. So you might not be able to see my eyes that look like I am on some sort of drugs right now. No, I just have two different eye colors, and I'm in a kind of dark basement right now. But because light above me was like I was getting interrogated in a CIA black site. But anyways, getting into the meat of the show. Well, the bread right now before we get into the meat of the show. Um, so yeah, like I said, I'm gonna reiterate it. I didn't announce the date. I said I was going to do it. I just decided to do it. This show going forward will have more interviews and more engaging content. But from now and from here on out, sometimes it'll just be me speaking my mind on lacrosse. And there will be another as well, I guess, show within a show, which is for whatever I want to talk about in the sports world. But this is the I Don't Know Sports podcast, the lacrosse show edition. Yes, I'm ripping that right from a specific lacrosse show. Don't cease and desist me. I will change it. I just don't have a name yet. Anyways, getting into today. First off, I would like to say we have a fallen soldier here, right here, the J, right there, number 8, Kyle Breiler. He's no longer with us for reasons we don't know, but forever, go York. But now, yes, getting into the show. So some of the questions I get throughout is why did I kind of decide to do this thing with Division Three lacrosse? Well, for those who do not know, I was a Division Three. Is this recording? Okay, it's recording. For those who don't know, I played lacrosse growing up in high school. I was originally going to play attack because I was slow and didn't want to run as much. But then I was told by my doctor because I've had too many brain injuries. I'm going to go blind from this light right now in the background. Holy smokes, folks. Um, I was told by my doctor that I had too many brain injuries at the time coming back into athletics. So I ended up having to switch the goalie, which for your dome, the AC just went off, so if it gets a little echoey, apologies there. But for your dome, your head, pretty good. For the rest of your body, no, it hurts like hell. I played attack for a smooth about 30 minutes, and then I got switched to the net. But anyways, yeah. So I was goalie in hockey too, as you can tell. Yeah, my set where I'm sitting right now is in front of a hockey net in the guts of my basement. But I was goalie in hockey, and then I was like, oh, it can't be that hard. I also didn't have to run too. That was also a big sell for my fat little ass, chubby kid. I was a fat, chubby kid, fat ass. Um, at that point in time, and I didn't want to run. I hate running. I still hated running up until I finished playing lacrosse. Which we'll get into in a second. I hated it. I absolutely hate it. My ankles suck. Hockey took a toll on my ankles and my knees. So, yeah, I hated it. I fucking hated it. And so then I ended up playing goalie from seventh grade, I believe, up until I graduated high school. I played my senior year, and then we'll get into what happened after that in a second here. There's a whole story there. But um, yeah, so I then played for my town team. I then played for a club team that I don't know if it exists anymore, the Eastern Mass Hawks Lacrosse. They were at this facility in Rockland. I was not on the top team. My first interaction with the Division One goalie, I believe he's still a Brown right now. I remember I was at one practice with him. It was like right after it was right after COVID or something. I don't know. But I was at I don't remember exactly, but it was over at someplace in Weymouth. I think it's like where the old Air Force Base or Air Base used to be out in Weymouth. The name is slipping my mind right now. I can't think of it, but if I think of it, I'll come back to it. But they put up this new like facility out there. There was like a bubble, a couple fields, so we're out there. And I remember I was playing, and I'm like, I think it was like. I think it was like right after COVID because in my head I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna really like get into this. I'm gonna like because I was a lot better at it than hockey. In hockey, I was riding pine at the time, but back up third goalie JV. And then when I transferred schools because of COVID, I was on varsity. Third goalie though didn't dress until one of our goalies got COVID, but didn't play a game until my senior year. I played one game. I came in relief once. I gave up 2 goals on 13 shots. We won the game. It was against Bishop Fien. But anyways, back to getting off track here. I remember. I think he's the goalie of Brown right now. I forget the guy's name, but I knew he's committed to Brown. I think he's still there. I don't know. Probably because of Ivy, and he was a year younger than me, which also was not very good for my ego that this kid was a year younger than me, and he was fucking really good. Because I thought I was decent. I wasn't not. My stance still looked like I was trying to take a shit on the ground. Because I still couldn't like until my senior year. I didn't really know how to like stand correctly in the net. The hockey, like I was until I watched like I don't know exactly what I watched or whose highlights. I watched somebody's highlights on YouTube, and then in my head I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't stand like I'm trying to squat over a hole in the ground, and take a shit like a hockey goalie. That's probably why they're going up top where grandma hides the cookies. I was gonna say something else, but I'm trying not to be as weird on the show as I am on my account sometimes. Anyways, um, getting back into the story. So yeah, that was when I was like, I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna try to go play college. I'm gonna go play maybe in the NESCAC. Grades were not good. There's no way I was getting in the NESCAC. I think my dad had finished high school like a 2.9 GPA. They probably would have laughed at me. Didn't submit my SATs. Didn't even touch 1,000. Didn't know how to use punctuation correctly in a sentence during the English part. That was bad. Surprisingly, I was good at math, even though I was like in the lowest math classes possible. Not the smartest at certain aspects of life. Not very smart. But getting where was I? Where was I? Yeah, I thought I was gonna go play in the NESCAC. Da, 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 da. I was not very good. It took till I would say right when I was debating on quitting hockey my senior year till I actually started like getting good. But we won. I played JV my freshman year in high school. Then COVID hit. I think that year I probably would have played up or dressed on the sideline for I don't know. I think I would have. Would I have? I don't remember actually. Was there a senior or was there a junior? I don't know. I was gonna possibly be on varsity um at my school, Braintree. I was at Braintree High School, in Massachusetts. I was possibly maybe they're probably gonna be on JV again, but I was looking forward to the year. Next thing you know, COVID hits. Don't have a season. I then go into COVID. I put on about 10 pounds, because I'm a fat ass. All I did was play Xbox and eat chicken nuggets. Um, and then I ended up transferring to my other school that I was at, which was Archbishop Williams, which I went, and that's the hockey. I was third goalie, and then I was the backup slash third goalie my senior year, and then lacrosse. I started both years. Um, and we weren't very good my junior year. We won, I think, one game. We weren't good. That was kind of a tale as well in youth lacrosse. We won, I think, 0 games up until my eighth grade year, which then we switched to like a league or conference where we actually like played teams that were like relative in our like range of competition. Like we weren't going and playing Bill Ricka, we weren't playing Hingham, we weren't playing Duxbury, we weren't playing all these like actual like good teams where all these kids are just playing town because they had time off during their club season and then they're going to go off to prep school and then go play D1 in the NESCAC. Like that's the type of shit we were going against. And then it was bad. Then we switched in this league. I think we won like 7 games, I think 8 games. It wasn't as bad. Then high school JV, we kind of got smoked because JV lacrosse, we either smoked teams or we got smoked. It wasn't very good. As well as the freshman games. So when I had to play down because yeah, our freshman goalie tried to catch a ball with his hand and he broke his thumb. So I had to play him. That was a gong show as well. Freshman lacrosse, Jesus Christ, I can't believe that's even still a thing. I mean, the MIA Massachusetts lacrosse is such a mess. But anyways, trying to continue the story here. So I go play high school. I'm in high school, and then my senior year is when I started taking it seriously. I mean, I have these made up stats on my phone of what I had for statistics. I mean, I couldn't find the huddle. I would throw in some huddle highlights and post editing from that year because I don't want to show the ones from my junior year because I looked like I was trying to take a shit on the ground. I kept dropping my stick so much, which they kept just putting it stick high side. I was better off stick. I was better going off stick side to stop it up top than compared to my strong side or stick side high. I forget the terminology sometimes. It changes so much. But yeah, it was not pretty. You also couldn't really tell um through the camera how bad it was at huddle. It looked like someone puked on the camera at the field. But anyways, these are the stats I have. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games here. 7 games. My save percentage was a .569, so it was a .57. My goals against was 11.71. We're not going to talk about how many goals I let up. I got rubbered. One of the games I played, we played Bishop Stang. I had 17 saves on 33 shots. Then we had a game against St. Mary's. I had 7 saves on 15 shots. And then we played Cardinal Spellman. I had 18 saves on 24 shots. The team wasn't very good. No offense to them. Then we played Weymouth. I had 22 saves on 35 shots. Then we played Bishop Fee, and I got shelled this game. Bishop Fee and Austin Prep, we always got fucking shelled by. I had 13 saves on 27 shots. And then we played Matignon, which this was the whole thing. It was basically Boston Hockey Academy, but it was basically every single kid on that team was basically Canadian. So they had somewhat of a resemblance of or attributes that they could contribute towards lacrosse, or just a bunch of athletes. And I had 10 saves on 20 shots. I was very embarrassed with that game. And then when we played Arlington Catholic, I had 15 saves on 25 shots. And then I stopped taking stats. I wonder why. But anyways, yeah, the Austin Prep games, we don't mention those. Those are really, really bad. Yeah, but anyways, I thought my numbers were definitely inflated. But anyways, I thought I was decent. I mean, I was sending emails to about everything, every fucking tryout letter I would get, I'd be like, oh, they're interested in me, so I'd send it back. Um, and then I was gonna go. I wanted to go to Chatham. I had an opportunity to go to Chatham, the school in Pittsburgh. I was probably gonna be like a second backup goalie or some shit there, but I wanted to go. Um, which that could be a story for a different day, or just whatever. But that'll be a story for a different day. But I wanted to go there, but I ended up not going. I ended up going to the University of Maine. I go to the University of Maine. I go and I ended up. So before I go, I ended up finding out I have thyroid cancer. For those who don't know, I had stage four neuroblastoma growing up as a kid. So it led to a whole slew of medical problems. Which if you want me to do an episode about my medical history, then let me know. But for now, this is just gonna be an introduction. But anyways, I find out I have thyroid cancer, which isn't deadly unless you live in like a fifth world country. It has 100% like cure rate. Like you're not gonna die from it unless you physically cannot get to a hospital, and then it'll slowly kill you over about like 20 years or something. I don't know. It's not very deadly. So I leave Maine and I'm getting the thyroid taken out, as you can see. I got half of it taken out, and then they're gonna do the other half um, after it like healed up in the wintertime. And then as I'm laying there, I'm laying coming out of surgery, and I'm just sitting there. I just watched was it this one or was this my first one? Which one was it? Ooh. I think I I'm trying to remember which surgery it was. I believe it was this was my first one. It was my first one. Yeah, I remember I'm sitting in there and I think it was the game that I wake up and I'm watching the game that oh my God, was it one of the surgeries? I think it was that one. But I remember I wake up from one of them and it was Monday Night Football. It was the Patriots and the Cardinals. It was the game that Kyler Murray tore his ACL. Hold on. When did Kyler Murray tear his ACL versus the Patriots? This is my second one. So that was my second one. But for my after my first one, I wake up from it. I'll throw up a picture here, a graphic image of what my scar looked like. It was kind of cool at the time. But so I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I want to go play lacrosse still. And technically, spring still hadn't came yet. It was in September. So I reached back out to Anna Maria. They don't exist anymore. That college doesn't exist anymore. Long story short, I end up going to Anna Maria. I'm there for a month. I then leave because of the mental health struggle of the overhang of the thyroid and then having to do the treatment after that because the treatment was the part that was not the best for me, as well as the fit at the school and yada yada yada. There was nothing. I was very excited. I wanted to play Division III lacrosse. Like I wanted to play lacrosse in college, but just, it didn't work out. And ever since then, I probably for a year I didn't watch lacrosse, and then I kind of got back into it slowly with the PLL. I still didn't watch college because I was still angry at myself for not playing, as well as I probably didn't go in with the right mindset. I was actually in shape though. I did train for it. But I was looking forward to it, potentially maybe, I don't know, being an honorable mention, all conference in the prestigious Greater New England Athletic Conference, the NAC. But shout out Division Three hero. Um, but anyways, yeah. So I played it for a month. Here's my profile. I lied about my height, I think, and my weight or something. I think I was like 205, 5'11". It was actually the second best shape I was in my entire life. The best shape I ever was in was after I got my thyroid removed, the rest of it removed, the second surgery, and then I had to go off of my level thyroxine for about a month, which if you have to take level thyroxine specifically because you don't have a thyroid and you don't take it for a month, it's literal living hell. You start hallucinating. It's not fun. Then again, that's for the medical history episode. Um, but ooh, ugh, fucking what did I just? I just inhaled some dust or something. There's literally, as you can see, fucking granite rock. This is like the Quincy quarries here in my basement. But you know, where was I? Oh, best, yeah. So then I only could, and the other thing too was I had to eat I could have no sodium. It was like low sodium, no sodium diet. It was disgusting. So I lost about, I think like 10 pounds from it. But then I kind of decided to start working out towards the end of it, which wasn't great, but I did. And then I lost a shit ton of weight. And then there's fucking avalanche going on upstairs. And I lost a shit ton of weight. And then I started working out. And then that was the best shape of my life from, um, I believe it was March of 2023 up until October of 2023 because that's when I went back to school. I was already at school, but then I discovered Domino's and Michelob Ultras on Friday nights, and that wasn't very good for me. But anyways, yeah. So that's my Division Two lacrosse story now. But anyways, so I started, yeah. So I love Division Two lacrosse specifically because it reminds me so heavily of mid-major college football and mid-major college basketball. I don't know what about it screams it. Probably because we lack a true mid-major in like multiple. Excuse me, folks. I thought I had to sneeze there. Uh, Truly lack multiple mid-major like college lacrosse conferences. Like we have the ASUN, we have the A10, but really the only good one, in my opinion, is the Patriot League. Um, Consistently, because in the A10 you have St. Joe's, Richmond, High Point are kind of the top three consistently. ASUN, it just it depends. The Big East outside of fucking Georgetown, it's like, okay. Then you got, Denver's frisky sometimes, Jacksonville. Like, but we truly lack like a top to bottom mid-major conference. And that's why I love Division 3 lacrosse. Because basically, in my opinion, from number one all the way down to I'll say about 35-ish. It reminds me so heavily of just like mid-major athletics at Division 1 level. And it's also just really good fucking lacrosse. The NESCAC, the ODAC, the Liberty League, I don't know about the CLL. It's just kind of I mean the CLC, sorry, the Coastal League Conference or whatever. Coastal League, I don't know. The one that's Salisbury, it's either Salisbury or CNU the last couple of years. So, but anyways, that's why I like it so much. And it's also too like I don't know why it's a lot easier to follow at times because I don't know. It's just a lot easier than Division 1. For me personally, once you get past, I would say the top 30 in Division 1. For D3, once you get past, I would say the top 30. You can still kind of rattle off shit, and that's just for me personally. I don't even know what I'm getting at. I'm just saying it just reminds me so much of like college basketball mid-majorness that I fucking love it, especially too some of the fields and the environments. Like Bowdoin is just you have this like you have a grandstand that looks straight out of Harry Potter is on one side, which is sick. It's fucking loud too. I remember, what game was it? It was the Stevens Amherst game, the NCAA tournament game. I think it was the Stevens parents or the Amherst. It was loud. It was actually really cool. The atmosphere for that game was sick. Like you have that, and then you have just like some classic metal bleachers you have on the other side. And it's just like you have that. Bellow Field is interesting. It has one of the smallest like bleacher areas for such a like that whole complex though is sick. You have that, and then the area around it. I mean, the Bowdoin Tufts game where there was like close to 2,000 people. There was definitely more. Like it was that atmosphere was sick. Like 3 rows deep on the fence. Like I'm pinned next to the fucking porter potty that smells like death, trying to record the game. It's like the internet. It's just there's something about it. It just it there's something about it. Like I didn't even know like. I kind of forgot that like Hope College, like I didn't even know Hope College was a thing until like halfway there. I'm like, huh, this team's like they're 18-0. They're huh. Oh, they were in Pennsylvania. I didn't even think they were in Michigan. That like my first I didn't even like know really that much about Hope College. I knew it existed. I just did not know the lacrosse program was that good because I used to go out to Grand Rapids for my doctor. Again, that's for the medical episode. I used to go out there for my doctor um and I knew it was out there because Holland's like 20 minutes away and I would see people wearing like Hope stuff and I'm like, what Hope University? What? Hope College. So I looked that up completely forgot I was in Michigan. I remember I was at the game. I think it was some Cortland parent was like, "Where are these fellows from Hope from?" or something like that, and that Long Island accent because the entire SUNY is from Long Island and New Jersey and New York on the entire conference. But I'm like, oh, I think Pennsylvania. I was texting somebody too, and I'm like, oh yeah, the game's on a Thursday because they're traveling from Pennsylvania, from fucking Michigan. I know they're from Michigan till halfway through the game. Like some parents said something and they're like oh yeah the travel from Michigan. I was like wait a second, they're from Michigan. So yeah, the fellows from Michigan, shout out Hope College, the Dutchman. um Hopefully you get some people on. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, Let me. Hopefully, some people now know where Hope College is, and they're not going to say Pennsylvania like me. Shout out to the Dutchman once again. But anyways, now, um, yeah. So, but yeah, it's just there's just something about it. I mean, then you have Arcadia, which is out in the middle of nowhere, that plays at a literal castle. You have Arcadia. You have Chatham, which plays in like downtown Pittsburgh, fucking MIT as a team, literally. Like it's just there's something about it. It's just it's amazing. Like there's like 250 million teams. We're adding one more as St. Anselm, St. A's is getting promoted from D2 to D3 to the new MAC. Flow Sports is behind that deal. More to come on that, but. Like and it's just it's exciting because you got Tufts at the top. It's just kind of been like a revolving door. It seemed like the last couple of years. Salisbury, RIT, Tufts, yada yada. But I feel like this year it might be a little bit more open. I think it's going to be a little bit more open compared to most years. Like Tufts and Bowdoin will obviously still be up there, the usuals, but it'll be a lot more open, I think, and it'll be a lot more exciting this year, as it's just a lot more unknown and just as well. Another thing I'm looking forward to is like what is going to be the situation now, going forward with the fifth years, like what's going to happen there? Are there going to be because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, and this could blow up my. I'm pretty sure the roster size and cap limits do not apply to Division Three. So a team like Stevens can still have enough people on their bench to take over a small country. Um, so that's what's like. Okay, so some of these guys who want to come back for fifth year, it's like, well, do they drop down? Like that's going to be interesting to the fifth year. Now we're going to get more guys. Maybe do guys come back? Obviously, they can't make NIL like in D1, so like a six-figure finance job right out the gate. And my air is coming back on. If you can't hear that, I'm not taking off on a plane, but like a six-figure uh, Wall Street job, or the carbon monoxide's getting in my brain right now. Or you come back and go play in the NESCAC and drive up to Hamilton, New York on a 8-hour bus ride. No offense to Hamilton, New York. I had to do that bus ride one time up to Colgate. Not fun. Not fun at all. But from Orno, sucked. That sucked. But especially the oh Olive Garden halfway. Oh my god, that trip sucked. Never ever again do I want to have to do that. It's terrible. So prayers for anyone else to go up there, and prayers for anyone from the Liberty. It's just upstate New York travel sucks. But anyways, as I was saying, like the fifth year thing, like what's going to go on with that? Because there's no roster size either. As well as the fact too, like we're seeing a lot more D1 guys. It seems like there was a couple this year, a lot more than I thought that dropped down into Division Three. We had I know Bates picked up a guy, Babson picked up a guy, Wesleyan got three, Salisbury got like three, I think. Um, Lynchburg got one. I think like a couple other. I think Amherst, another NESCAC school got one. There's a couple other, but there's a lot of D1 guys dropping down. SUNY schools as well. So it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, like a lot of these guys in the top echelon of D3 can play D1. It's just like, would you rather go to an NESCAC school, or would you rather go to fucking, no offense, like Bucknell or some shit like that? Bucknell, or what's like another team like that? I was gonna say Loyola, but that's more so for basketball. Shout out Pat Spencer. I can't be saying that, but like you know what I mean. Like it's just like or Bobby Morris. They just made the term, and I can't even say that. But like you know what I mean. Like it's just like okay, I can go maybe win a national championship at D3, or I can go win 3 games at Division 1. So there's that as well. And it's I mean we're seeing the talent level. I mean you had a guy who just won Division 3 Player of the Year like 15 years in a row, basically. That was like two, but he or three, I don't know. I think it was two. Jack Regneri. He moves up, not moves up. He gets drafted in the third round of the PLL, and then he's making guys look like just Division 3 defenders from La Roche. No offense to La Roche, but like, come on, like you know what I mean. Like it's that type of like, holy fuck, he's putting guys on skates, and the talent levels there too. I mean, Bowdoin, they had, I mean, fucking Bowdoin had two 100-point attackmen in the NESCAC. Case Ryan and Chris Berry, shout out. They were nasty. It was like I remember watching the first game I go to was against Bates, where this all started from the Bates Bowdoin game. Like, and I'm like, holy fuck, who are these two guys? I mean, they just jumped out at me right away. Like the talent, I was like, wow. Same with Nico Shermer. Shermer, I don't know how to say his name. The LSM, the guy who won defensive player of the year in the NESCAC, one of the better long stick defenders in Division 3. Like those are just three guys right away where I'm like, that's D3. They're in D3. Fucking Christ. But and then too, like shout out to potential might have him on soon. Miles Schmidt, another guy. He just is like another one that jumped off the page right away. It's like jumped out right away. It's like this guy's like 6'3" and built like a fucking tight end. He's out there just running people over at the center X. So it's like another guy where it's like that's not Division 3 talent, but he's in Division 3. Or even Connor Hartman too. The most famous goal on my account. Another guy where it's like now that's a guy who could be in a midfield rotation on a top 25 team in Division 1. Like it's just a lot of these guys where it's like that's either they could go start or they could be a rotational piece. It's just like, but that is why they're dominating there. Another guy out at Hope, Gibson Heathis. He had like 140 something points. I mean, and then Preston Holcomb's too out there. CNU transfer goes out to Hope, puts up like I think it was 100-point season. And it's just like you see all these guys who, I mean, he was committed to CNU, so you have to be pretty good to commit there and go there. Doesn't play, goes out and back home out in Michigan, goes to Holland, lights it up. So there's guys all over the place. I mean, you just look top to bottom, lights it up. I mean, even if they don't put up the numbers, there's still a lot of guys where it's like that guy is really good for Division 3. He could probably play Division 1. So that's the other thing too, where you get to see a lot of these talents too. Where at D1 you got to go kind of all over the place to find them. Where even in the NESCAC, I mean, go to school in Maine from Massachusetts, it's all right here. So I mean, and especially too with how they host. I mean, there are the schools that host just in this region. I mean, that I could drive to within a couple hours. Tufts, Bowdoin, Bates. Like I got to see all these incredible games. I got to see the Hope College run. I got to see Tufts just have the most insane first quarter I think I've ever seen ever against York. I mean, that was fucking bananas. Like I get to see that. I get to see CNU versus Wesleyan, which is something I would not normally get to see ever, unless I either go down a Mustang Classic if that ever happens down there, or like just it happened. Wesleyan happens to play them in the non-con. Like you get to see cool shit like that. RIT Babson. RIT had one of the greatest third quarter runs I think I've ever seen ever against Babson. That game was sick. Like, what's another one? Fucking Ithaca Hope College in Lewiston, Maine. Like Division 3, like having regional host sites in the national tournament for Division 3 is so sick for lacrosse too. Because who would have thought that Hope College from Holland, Michigan, and Ithaca College from Ithaca, New York would be playing a NCAA tournament game in Lewiston, fucking Maine? Like that is just the beauty of Division 3. I mean, another one like Amherst versus Stevens. I'll never see that. That was an incredible game. Granted, there was a monsoon going on, but it was an incredible game. And it's that is the beauty of Division 3 lacrosse. These just random matchups you get just all over the board, especially in the NCAA tournament where you go and see these games. Like another one, Colorado College at York College. Like the fuck, it's awesome. I love it. And also too, Mustang Classic, another one like that. I'm hoping to get there next year. I hope to God I can get there next year because it should be fucking cinema this year. I mean, I don't even know who's going, but looking at some of the rosters and roster construction, maybe fifth years and incoming freshman classes as well. Oh boy. Hopefully Stevenson's back. That would be nice, but you know, oh boy, it's gonna be a hell of a Mustang Classic. Okay, throw Hope College in there. Get them involved. Throw them in there. But yeah. So today, though, like I said, just kind of sharing my love for Division 3 and yada yada yada, and Right now, I said I had a lot of questions here. I kind of answered one why I like Division 3 lacrosse so much. But I got a lot of questions here across the board. Anywho, getting into it now. Number one, who do I have winning the PLL? This isn't Division 3, but the PLL playoffs are coming up. Shout out to the PLL. The one thing that I will say is they do their merch better than anyone else in professional sports, in my opinion. That may be a little biased, but it is some of the best. They do a very good job on their merch. And even if you don't play lacrosse, it's sick. So they're gonna ask me, who do I have winning the PLL championship, and who do I have as the final game? Well, let's go over my whole bracket. I got California beating Denver. I got the Cannons beating the Whipsnakes. I got Utah beating the Redwoods, and I got the Cannons beating the Water Dogs. Now, will the Water Dogs probably win that game? And will they? Yeah, probably. But I'm a Cannons fan. I'm from Boston. I don't like Philly, so fuck that. And then I got Utah versus Boston in the final. Unfortunately, I'm going to pick Utah because I've been riding with them all year. I think that they have a dynasty, and we need a dynasty in sports to make. And if you're an up and coming league, what better way to get into a news cycle than having a fucking dynasty? So shout out to the Archers and Brett Dobson, who should have been MVP. And it should be him or Andrew McMeekin. But anywho, now some more questions. Like I said, one of them, about three of them. Why do I like Division 3 lacrosse so much? Who do I think is going to be the most underrated team in Division 3 lacrosse that is in my top 20 rankings? Actually, let me rephrase it. Who do you think is somebody that you underrated the most in your top 20 rankings? That are the most that everyone knows are the most prestigious rankings in the world for the sport of lacrosse at Division 3 level that are actually going to do better than you have them projected. Well. Off the bat, I would say Washington and Lee, but I'm probably going to move them up anyways. I put them at 10 because I couldn't find enough info on them. So W&L definitely will be one that will be up there. Something that I underrated. So I think 1 through 5 is pretty stable there. RIT, they just lost a lot. I mean, they had, I think, what? They had Ryan Sanders go to Utah. One of their Fogos also went D1, and I think they lost someone else. Bates 7, Steven, somebody that I underrated. I'm not ready to say Salisbury yet. Probably York, honestly. I kind of just put them in 11 too, because once again, I couldn't find a lot of information on them. And I probably once I see fall ball footage, I'm going to be wooed by how good they are. So I'm going to say York is probably one that I underrated, and one that isn't in my rankings that I think I have. Well, I have two things. One that's not going to be in my rankings probably for a while that I think is going to be good next year is Colby College. They have a good recruiting class. Their entire team was extremely young last year. When I went to some of the games, they showed flashes. I will be there for some games at Colby. I think they actually could make some noise in the NESCAC this year, and they're pretty underrated. Um, and then the other one too, I guess if I had to choose somebody that would be in my 21 to 25 range, 21 to 25 range, who have I heard? RPI. I feel like they have to. RPI, yeah, that's one where I feel like they have to be back. They had a down year last year. They were I think ranked in the top 10. They were supposed to be a good team. They had a down year. They lost a lot of people. Maybe figure something out. But I think RPI is gonna have a pretty good bounce back year. Um, they have to. I mean that I think I gotta go with Washington and Lee. I put them at 10. I was told it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful after looking at it. So you know what? There's some insider info that I said I don't. I need. There's a lot going on there that it's good. So you know what? I'm gonna say Washington and Lee is like as a dark horse. They're on the outside. Of like possibly making a run deep in a tournament and challenging one of my I would say my top four teams this year that are the ones that have to be knocked off respectfully are Tufts, Bowdoin, CNU, and Wesleyan as of right now. Um, and if I had to throw another one in there, I would say I kind of I would say Washington Lee. And I like Lynchburg's doing it too. I like Lynchburg and the recruiting class they got, and you know I uh, I think Lynchburg gonna make some noise. Oh boy, my computer's gonna die. Hold up. Well, I just look like Usain Bolt running up 2 flights of stairs to go get my computer charger, then back down those 2 flights of stairs and almost tripped on my flip-flops. But anyways, what was I talking about? I don't even know what I was talking about. So if the show just went completely off track and I was talking about something, oh, what teams make a run? I said I think possibly one of the ODAC teams. I think Lynchburg or Washington Lee. I think this might be the year that an ODAC team makes a run in the NCAA tournament. But D3 tournament is a gauntlet because of how many rounds there are and yada yada yada. So, next question I got was my internet is not working because, like I said, I'm in the guts of my basement right now. Hold on, folks. This is world class show here. Who are some players in Division 3 to keep an eye out for next year? Well, one at the top of my mind. Well, actually, one unit at the top of my mind is Tufts goalie and the three poles are going to roll out there to start next year. Jack Gold, Jack Donovan, William Bonner, Logan Lee. That might be the best goalie plus three poles I think in the country right now. We're quite literally, I think all three of those poles as well are Division 1 talents. They are all ridiculous, and they're the second they get the ball, poop, up in transition, and usually you get an assist, or it was last year for Soley and or Davis Owens would score. But anyways, yeah. So that's just right away. It's like what to watch out for. Tufts defense. It's going to be ridiculous next year, especially the polls. Um, players, players. Shout out to friend of the program, and we will be interviewing him soon, Miles Schmidt. He is, in my opinion, going for me going to be on my preseason first team All American as a Fogo for next year. I think he's the best, or not if not the best, one of the best in the country, top three without a doubt. So him up at Bates. Um, who else? Bowden, Hudson Green, Hudson Green. The Miller brothers at CNU. Um, I, I didn't do much research going into this too, so I might do an actual episode on this. But I mean, that's just top of mind, like right off rip. Miller brothers at CNU. Um, Gibson Heathis and Preston Holcomb for another big year out there at Holland, Michigan. Um, who else? Who else? I don't know his name, but the goalie at Stevens last year. This kid's very, very fucking good. Freshman. I believe he's a redshirt freshman though, not a true freshman, but still freshman. Was on some All American teams. Was an All mention for sure. That is definitely one. Oh, I'm gonna do an actual episode on this. So it's a good question. I'm actually do a little bit more research on that. And then look at that. But that was yeah. Fuck. But yeah, yeah. That's for now. But yeah, I would definitely say Tufts defense is the biggest thing I'm gonna watch out for this year because it should be really fucking good again as usual. Ooh, another question. Did I ever play lacrosse in college? Yeah, that was answered. I was at Anna Maria for a month. School no longer exists. I saw that one coming from a mile away when I walked in the dorm, and it looked like someone died on my floor. I wish I had the picture. It literally looked like someone died on my fucking floor. Granted, I came in halfway through the year. My roommate was a former football player who just quit the football team, and he also lived nearby, so he wasn't ever really there. But my side of the room looked like somebody fucking died under my desk. It was disgusting. As well as the fact too that my heat didn't work. And there was a lot of mold on the windowsill that I could not wipe off, which was not good. As well as when I walked into the room and I set up all my stuff, and about 30 minutes in, I hear Rick and Morty on the TV next to me at about 500 volume. Yeah, and also the tuition for that school. Like I saw that come from a mile away. The nun tunnels, like that. Oh my god, what a place Anne Marie is. Wow. That was a whole thing. You know what? I'll do the rest of the episode in a helmet real quick. Hold on. Like I said, I was there for a month. One of the things I still do have the helmet. I got the helmet. This was back. I think they went Warrior like the last year or two before they went under. This is when they were phasing out of the red and black and more into silver. Um, so we had the chrome domes. This was never worn in a game, as you can tell, especially too by this, because I just put this on because I lost a screw. Because I'm stupid. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. So um, yeah, was there for a month, and then yeah, like I did, that whole place was gonna go under at some point, sooner or later. Because my golly, it was a mess. It was a fucking mess, especially it's in fucking Paxton, Massachusetts. Anyways, no disrespect to anyone out there. I feel bad for the people that lost the program. That sucks. I mean, you don't have anywhere to go. But like that school, seriously, I'm surprised it was existing for as long as it did. But another thing I wanted to discuss here was how wow, I'm just looking at my computer right now. I look fucking ridiculous. I look fucking ridiculous. Oh, the jersey went down. I look a bit ridiculous. As some may say, this show has gotten a bit out of control. I don't know where to go now. Yeah, and this show has kind of just gotten out of control now. For those who are not watching, I have a silver helmet on, with a dangler on it that barely works with my York Kyler Bryler jersey. So yeah, this show has kind of got a bit out of control. As well, I'm trying to think if I got asked one thing. Oh, what I want to do with the show. So, I just want to talk. That's number one. Number two is I also do want to actually have like serious interviews with. This isn't just going to be catering towards Division Three. This is a everybody's welcome show. Division One, club, NAIA, and then Division Two. Why the name Division Two last? Because Division Two, sadly enough, I think Division Two will cease to exist in the next 10 years. That's just the way it's going. It's the way it's going. I think it's going to happen. You're already seeing St. Anselm's is kind of pulling. They already pulled themselves from it. They were a major player in the NE10 and D2. I think Assumption's probably next. If I had to take a guess, they are probably the next team to move. Then Franklin. So the NE10, if the NE10 goes, then it's like, oh, where does everyone else lie? I mean, Tampa, they could move up or down, and they'll be fine either way. So, same with the Delphi. I mean, Division Two will cease to exist. But sorry to say that. I just think it's going to happen the way college athletics is moving. But on a serious note, though, I do want to have like actual interviews. I know I'm saying this with a silver helmet on, and a green York lacrosse penny right now. I know it looks ridiculous, but there will actually be serious settings. This is just me getting on and rambling. This is the rambling of lacrosse episode. Um, so that is the goal going forward. Players, coaches, other staff members. Yeah, going forward, I think that is we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to do one episode a week, at least with interviews. I already have one lined up, trying to get more lined up. So, if you're interested in coming on at all, club D1, D2, NAIA, anybody D3, reach out. Glad to have you on. Just everyone's got to know everyone's story. I mean, it's lacrosse. You just got to grow the game some way, one way or another. And I feel like this is the best way. Me sitting in my parents' basement in front of a hockey net with a silver helmet on and a green York lacrosse pinning. This will do it for the episode, folks. Appreciate if you made it to the end. And yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Appreciate you guys listening, watching. Subscribe, like, comment. If you're on Spotify, follow and rate the show 5 stars because this is a 5 star program by a former 5 star. No, I was not. I was a 0 star. But you get the gist of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. That hurt my